Hi guys. Hey again. It's me. I always think that's so funny when anybody uh, is making a video and they go, "Hey, it's me, Jessica," or something. I don't know. I guess maybe it's good to identify yourself. But anyway, so okay, so I got these all kind of done. Look at I did the big box. I decided, well, if I mentioned it, I might as well, you know, I might as well do it. So I'm gonna do some stuff with this bigger Matchbox too. So I just painted the inside of it, and I might go back and paint the very inside of the boxes too. Um, I think I did that on those other ones. I can't. Whoops, that's upside down. I can't remember, but I think I did. So one thing I have noticed is that when you paint the boxes, the bottoms, they swell a little bit because of the paint, like they're absorbing the moisture. And so sometimes they don't fit exactly back into the lid like you think they will. But they will as soon as they dry. Okay, so if you do this and you notice that, the box, if it's not completely dry, they're going to be real tight to get them back into the lid. And also sometimes the edges of the lid has a tendency to kind of like curl in or curve in, or you have like paper that kind of gets in the way of the box going back in. So if you're having a hard time getting your box bottom back into the lid, check that. And sometimes, I'll go back and just use that file and just, make sure that there's nothing really in the way of it getting back in there. And then the other thing that I did on some of the other ones was I waxed the edges just with a little bit of like furniture polish, not furniture polish, but it's like this wax that you put over like chalk paint, and I just kind of rubbed it on with my finger. Or you could use some kind of rub-on wax paint, like Rub and Buff, or what's the other one that I use all the time? Ink Gold. Okay, one of those would be cool to act as a, like how you use soap on a drawer sometimes to make it run, smoother. So anyways, just some things you may encounter as you're working with these little Matchboxes. So yeah, so I finished painting these and they are basically dry. And I went back and on some of them, I've added a label, and I think a couple of them, maybe I won't add a label. Actually, I think I do want to put one on that one. These are just some little teeny tiny Denison labels that I'm hoarding, and you know how it is. So anyways, I'm just gonna add, this always happens. Okay. And I like to use these. I have a tendency to just keep things hidden away that I think are special, but I think it makes them more special when you share them. So I've always felt like you should share, or, give away the things that you love, because it makes them more special. Don't give away the things you don't like. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, so this one, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm thinking about maybe doing like a fabric or lace like cluster on here and make it like, real kind of like shabby chic or something. So I'm starting to realize that I guess I kind of like that. you know, shabby chic thing. Anyway, so here's what we're going to do. I want to do some inking on these guys. And also I want to do the inside of the drawers. So I'm going to get out my ancient, oh, that's not going to work. I'm going to get out my really super old vintage photo. And I'm going to just do some inking around the edges of these. I'm going to do the very end of the box like that. Kind of really tamping it in there just to get it into the cardboard or the chipboard. And then I'm just doing the corners of the boxes. Okay, so that's pretty much all the inking that I think I'm going to do. And then these are going to get like a clear coat spray. So, you know, I was thinking, like, there's a ton of things you could do on these boxes, right? Like, I mean, you could cover them with fabric or, you know, add more three-dimensional embellishments, buttons, all kinds of stuff you could do on the box lids. So I want to do, first of all, I want to try to strengthen this box a little bit because it's, you know, they're a little bit flimsy. And so the best way I can think of to do that is to just add another layer of paper. And so I'm just going to do some kind of like decorative paper on the inside. I need to know what the measurements are. So I'm going to measure the bottom of the box. So I want this to be, I'm going to say 1 3/4 by, we'll say 1 1/8. Okay, that's going to be the dimensions of, whoops, of the inside, if that's the dimension on the outside, right? Okay. 1 3/4. No. Wait, that's 2 1/4. 2 3/4. There we go. I was like, wait, that is way too long. Okay, and then let me just trim off this little edge. And then what did I say? 1 1/8. Could probably just eyeball that, right? Okay, so it's pretty small. I don't know. Maybe I'll do 2 of them with this paper on the inside. Because then the edges, like on the inside edge of the box, I can kind of eyeball that. So I'm just going to ink around the edges on these before I put it in there. I'm just going to glue this right onto the bottom. So I'm going to do this one, and I think this one with this marbled paper. Again, with the art glitter glue, right? And I'm going to put the glue in the box because it's easier. It's easier than putting a gluey piece of paper. And if you kind of just wiggle it just a tiny bit, it spreads that glue out. And then I just use this bone folder to sort of smooth it out. If you don't have one of these bone folders with the kind of, these is, you know, this is for book binding. It's really, or for origami actually is what this is more geared towards. I got that on Amazon. if anybody would like, I'll just put the link to it in the description. They're not super cheap, but I tell you what, it's a really nice bone folder, and really comes in handy for this kind of stuff. And if you do origami, it's great. Okay. And it's Teflon, so like any of this glue and stuff, it just wipes right off. Okay, and then I'm going to do around the edges too. So I'm just going to, I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm going to just cut a little strip. Let's see if that is too wide. Nope, I think that's going to be just actually, it's a little bit too long. Tiny bit too long. Okay, and then for the ends, and then I also want, let's see, how long does this need to be? There, and it's actually a little bit too wide. Okay, and this one is probably going to be a little bit too wide too. Nope, it's good. That's weird. Okay, so one more little strip. And this is going to be for the end on the inside. And then I'm going to ink these little guys. Yeah, my hands are going to be covered with ink here pretty soon. I know this is super exciting, right? Everybody loves watching people inking stuff. So then on the other ones, you know, the rest of these, I'm just going to choose, you know, some other kind of decorative paper and do the exact same thing. And since this glue dries clear, I'm not worried about it leaking out. And this just little bit of paper and glue on the end, or on the perimeter of this box, is really going to strengthen it a lot. You'd be surprised. And then I just want to do the little pull, the little like drawer pull, and kind of show you how I did that, how I'm going to do that. So if you're curious to know what I'm talking about, and you haven't seen the journals that I made in these little boxes, I think it's just like 2-3 videos back. I did a series of them. I had 18 originally, and then one of them got messed up. Can't remember what I did, but one of them got messed up, so I wound up with 17. So anyway, so I'll just put those aside for now. And I'll work on this one to show you how I did the little drawer pull. So it's a little narrow. The depth of this box is a little bit shallow to use the crocodile. You don't really need it anyways. All you really need is a whole, like a pokey tool. Oh, where did I put that stuff? I just rearranged in here a lot of stuff. I can't find anything. Okay. Forgot I was going to need this. Okay, so just get an awl, or first of all, I want to know which way this box is going to go in. really weird. Sometimes it goes in easier one side or the other. See, like that side, it went in way easier. So I'm going to make this the end of my box. Oh, wait a second. I forgot. I want to add a piece of, hold on. I'm just going to poke this hole anyways. But I want to add a piece of this paper on the very outside of the box too. On the end of the drawer. Make it a little bit shorter, a little bit narrower. And I'm going to ink it. This is tedious stuff here, you guys. I'm just saying. Very tedious. But I don't know. I think it's fun. I love working on little tiny things. I just think it's, I don't know, it's satisfying somehow. Okay. All right. So there's my hole. So I'm just like supporting the underside of this while I poke that hole with my 2 fingers. Like, be careful not to poke yourself. Anyway, and then it's just a small eyelet and a brad. These are the longer, these are the long Tim Holtz brads. They're slightly longer than, these are the ones that I get from Hobby Lobby. They come like in a box of, I don't know, like 600 or something in different colors of metal. And then these are the Tim Holtz ones. See, they're a lot longer. I just like to use a longer brad to do this because it's going to go through a, what are those things called? An eyelet. Okay, so I'm going through the bottom of the eyelet, okay? So the flat part of the eyelet is on that side, and the smaller opening part is going that way. So it's like the opposite, that you would actually like put a brad into something, you know, because I want it to create the look of like a little bit of a, like a stop right there, like a door plate, like a doorknob plate, you know. So that I basically turn it around, and then I'm just gonna open up that brad on the inside of the drawer like that. And then I took the awl, and just kind of really flatten it down. Okay, so almost like bending it more than it needs, than it should be, you know, and that just creates like a really smooth like surface right there. And then just take another little strip of paper, little tiny piece of paper. I'm going to ink it up so it looks like it belongs there. And then I'm just going to glue that. I'm just trying to like maximize the amount of space that I have inside this box for when I put the journal in there, you know. So I'm just gluing that paper right over the brad. And that's just gonna make sure that it doesn't pull back out, you know. And I use the same pattern paper, you know, so it basically like blends in, you know. So yeah, so that's the little drawer pull, okay, like that. And then I'll do that on the rest of these. On the larger one, I have some larger paper fasteners. They're called, that's what they were labeled as, paper fasteners. See, these are some old ones. And so on these, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just want to make sure that it'll fit through the eyelet. See? So it's a little bit larger situation. Like it's the same stuff. It's just bigger. Could make it a little bit longer. Whoops. Could make the knob a little bit longer by taking one and put it on with the head of the eyelet towards the head of the, you know, paper fastener, and then take another one and put it the opposite way. So they kind of meet up like that, you know, and it makes like a little bit longer knob to deal with. And then just punch a hole. There's probably plenty of space to use the crocodile. Let's just see about that. Actually, I'm going to use my, see if this has enough room. I love this hole punch. Yeah, and I want the pull to be, it'll be a little bit close to the top. Yeah, I like that. And then, let's see, that might be too long. No, actually, I kind of like it like that. And that gives you a nice, you know, substantial, whoops, I'm sorry, you guys. It gives you a nice, like, substantial knob to pull, you know. I'm not going to attach it yet because I want to do the paper and stuff on here. But, yeah, I think that's going to work. So I've not done this before. So it might be better if I actually put an eyelet in there before I do this, you know, that just to kind of stabilize the whole situation a little bit more. So anyways, I'm just going to drop it in there for now and then figure out what I want to cover the inside with. And yeah, so next time I'm going to cut this video and get it uploaded. So at least, you know, we've got the whole box basically done. The only other thing I'm going to do to it is, like I said, spray it with a clear coat, and it's a satin finish. It's not pearl. I had said pearl in another video, but it's actually a satin finish, and I can't remember the manufacturer, but it just kind of makes sure that everything is sealed and makes it a little bit more durable, I think. So, okay. So I'll get the rest of I'll get these all finished. And then when the next video, I'll probably actually do that tomorrow. So it is now almost midnight on Saturday, January 11th. So I think tomorrow, Sunday, the 12th, I will try to finish these up and get the rest of it filmed and stuff. So I have another video that I want to do, just doing some collaging on some pattern paper and stuff. So, but yeah. Okay, guys. So that is part 2 of make some Matchbox minis with me. They're actually micro mini matchboxes. This is so hard to say. Okay, guys, I love you, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye for now.